There are different types of bustles that we can talk about here. And then different gowns will, okay, this one has kind of like scoliosis, so she might go down. All right, so then on Ashley's gown, what do we do for her?
Hers, we're doing a high-low.
Oh, high-low. Oh, that's right. Okay,
This is the
pretend that
front.
she doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are a couple of different types of, well, there's 3 now, I think. We have the what they call the over bustle, in which the amount of fabric is determined depending on the height of your shoe and the hem, and then it's brought up like so. Okay? Like that. That's an over bustle. Like that. And then usually there'll be like a little loop here, and then since this one has buttons, one of these buttons will be marked so that you know which button to put it on. Otherwise, you'd be all day going, which one? So then the second one is what they call, let me grab some pins.
Yeah, right here.
I'll go ahead and do that. It's called a French bustle. And what this is, or an under bustle, where it's then everything is brought up underneath, and where the points to tie it off are all be under the gown. It'll be on the underside here. So there'll be 2 ribbons. We don't have. Do we have any ribbons?
No, this one is no, because
not
this
yet.
is the over
Okay.
too. Yeah.
So then we have then there'll be 2 ribbons down here, and that's how we do it. Some people do it with rings and then ribbon, but there's some type of process to bring the train up. And the whole reason why you do a bustle is to make sure nobody steps on your gown while you're wearing it and then rips the dress off you or rips the train. The unfortunate thing is that bustles, that's the one area we unfortunately cannot guarantee, because there is such a fine line between whether or not it looks good or it's functional. And so we try to do it so that they're strong enough, but sometimes, you know, Uncle Bob got a little bit too much to drink, steps on things, rip. And and then you guys bring it back to us, we try to fix it. so we'll try to do that. But and then the other kind of a bustle that has become very popular, I don't have a name for it, but, huh? Oh, it's a bubble hem.
Bubble hem.
Thank you,
Hey,
UKA.
hey, shh.
Get back to work.
Keep working. Get back to work up there. Nobody told you could talk. Nobody told you could talk.
Okay, so what happens is that there would be loops here on the bottom edge of the train, and then the attaching ribbons would be under here, and then what the end result would be, your gown would look like this. So it just looks like an informal version of your gown. So this one takes up a lot of bustles, probably on average about 15, because there's a lot of fabric to go around, okay? Now, you have to love that, because that's the most expensive bustle that we do, just because the amount of points that we have. On average, if you do an over or an under bustle, it's between 1 to 3. But now the trains are starting to get bigger, so there might be 5. It's always an odd number. It seems to be that works well. Sheet style gown. It's usually an over bustle.
And here's what we're talking about. This little loop in here, but what happens is we pull it so that you actually can't see it on the dress.
Yeah.
And then you'd find it. And we double looped her.
Oh, she did 2.
Yeah.
Okay. This particular dress has a very, very heavy satin underlayer, and then this layer here, the netting, that has the beadwork, and then this flange here. A lot of times we'll bustle them separately. 1 for looks, 2 because of the weight, because that's a lot of weight on 1 point. And so we're dispersing the weight by putting 2 in there.
Hold this up.
Yeah. No technical difficulties here.
Because the satin's really heavy.
Okay. Okay. On your very last appointment of your alterations, when you're coming to pick up your gown, it's a very good idea to bring in at least 3 people to your gown, to that last fitting. We want to teach them how to do this bustle, because one girl's going to be, could be mom, get all emotional, can't do it. You know, one girl might have just had a little bit too much champagne before the event. And then of course, then you've got one more just in case. So then, this is the gown with the over bustle, the double over bustle. So, pretty? Yeah, that's pretty. Okay. Any questions, ladies? Yeah?
I think you get question.
You get a question, honey? Oh, no, you're just punching the air.
Okay. Just checking.
Okay, all right. Okay, then, I'm trying to think what else.
Yeah, this is over.
Yeah, that's over bustle. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The high-low is basically this bride would like us to bring the front up and it cascades down to giving her a different.
Yeah.
And that's a bustle.
Right.
Because she wants to keep her dress whole and then have that look for the
Right.
reception.
Yeah.
And we do that as well.
That's a very unusual request.
Very unusual, yeah.
So, and then I've had it where the girl wanted to wear flats at the wedding, but then wear hooker heels at the reception. So we had to bustle the front and the back, and then when she went down the aisle, or then when she came to the reception, then we unhooked everything and it was fine. So, okay? All right. So here's a test. What did I say was the most important thing to bring to your alterations? Okay?
Undergarment and?
And?
Awesome,
Correct.
yeah, cookie.
Cookie, yeah, have a cookie. Not you didn't answer.